Inside the belly of the C-130, precision is the only thing separating success from catastrophe.
Up front, Captain Reyes prepares the crew for a tactical ascent to 5,000 feet.
3 Humvees sit ready, tons of armored steel waiting to defy gravity's pull.
The Loadmaster's eyes miss nothing. A single loose strap could spell total mission failure. On the ground, Private Ortiz prepares to mark the impact zone for the heavy drop.
The Hercules groans under the weight, 4 engines screaming to lift the heavy payload.
Physics fights against them. Getting this much metal airborne is a feat of engineering.
Wheels up. The giant bird claws for altitude, carrying its volatile cargo skyward.
The honeycomb cardboard underneath is the only cushion these vehicles will have upon impact.
It looks fragile, but this engineering marvel absorbs the shock that would shatter axles.
2,000 feet, climbing to 5. Wind speeds are marginal, but within drop limits.
The red light bathes the hold. It's the signal that the drop sequence has begun.
These static lines are the trigger. If they fail, gravity claims the victory today.
Bird is inbound, 2 minutes.
Ground team is ready. They need visual confirmation before the ramp opens up.
Depressurization starts. The air gets thin and cold as the cargo bay opens.
The maw opens. The roar of the slipstream fills the cabin, deafening and chaotic.
Drag increases instantly. The pilot fights to keep the platform perfectly level for release.
Mac checks the locks. The extraction chute must catch the wind to pull the load.
Load 1, ready!
Vehicle 1 is primed. Thousands of pounds of steel resting on a hair trigger.
Clear to drop.
Ground gives the go-ahead. The conditions are perfect for a standard heavy drop. Amber light, 1 minute to drop. The crew steps back to the safety line.
Communication is now entirely visual. The noise is too great for words.
A small explosive charge will cut the strap, releasing the drogue chute into the slipstream.
Slowing down, if they go too fast, the chute rips. Too slow, they stall.
Green light. The locks disengage. The sequence is automatic from here on out.
The extraction chute catches the air, pulling with thousands of pounds of force.
It moves. The beast slides down the rails, rushing toward the open void.
Load clear. The first Humvee is airborne, tumbling into the slipstream.
A perfect deployment. The chutes bloom like giant jellyfish, stabilizing the load.
1 down. 1 down.
Mac doesn't celebrate yet. The second load is already moving into position.
The process repeats. But the turbulence from the first drop makes the plane sway.
Second load away. Clean exit. The crew is operating like a well-oiled machine. From the ground, it looks like a ballet. 2 perfect drops, 1 left to go.
The final load. But notice the strap on the left riser? A tiny imperfection. Mac does his scan. In the red light and shadows, the flaw remains unseen.
The pilot adjusts the heading. Precision is key to keeping the vehicles close together.
The lock holds back 5,000 pounds. It's about to release the final payload.
It's moving too fast. It hits the ramp hinge hard as it exits. It's out. The mains are pulling. But the tumble is aggressive.
Snap!
A riser fails under the shock force. The load becomes unbalanced.
It's spiraling. One chute fouled. The vehicle is spinning up the suspension lines.
On the ground. Ortiz sees it. One of these things is not like the others.
The twist is fatal. The remaining chutes collapse. It's now a rock with streamers.
Burn-in! We have a burn-in!
Mac calls it
Burn-in!
military slang for a total parachute failure.
Terminal velocity. The Humvee is reaching speeds of over 120 miles per hour.
Impact.
5,000 pounds of armor meets immovable earth. The energy release is like a small bomb. Total destruction.
Nothing survives that. The chassis is compressed to a few feet high.
Ortiz rushes in, confirming no personnel were on the ground nearby. The mission isn't over. They have to land and explain what just happened.
Tower, load 3 is a loss. Malfunction.
The report goes out. Load 3 is a loss. A costly mistake.
Later, the investigation begins. Was it rigging? Weather? Material failure?
The culprit. A fatigued strap that passed visual inspection but failed under load.
We followed the checklist exactly. The pressure drop was instantaneous.
Even the best crews face failure. It's a reminder of the unforgiving nature of gravity.
This metal pancake serves as a warning. Check your gear. Then check it again. The bird returns home. The crew is safe, but the lesson is learned the hard way. In the world of heavy drops, there are no small errors, only big impacts. Let's break down the physics. The center of gravity must align perfectly with the extraction force. The rooster tail of air behind the ramp is chaotic. It can twist a chute instantly. Watch the exit again. See the suspension compress? It bounced before leaving the ramp. Normally, this honeycomb compresses to absorb 20 greenths of force. But at 120 miles per hour, the honeycomb acts like paper. It offers zero protection.
Riggers spend hours on a single chute. One fold out of place creates a malfunction.
These safety ties are designed to break at specific pressures to release the canopy. And
When it works, it allows us to put armor anywhere on the globe in hours.
We aren't the only ones. Every military struggles with the physics of heavy drops.
Mac uses this failure to teach the next generation. Complacency is the enemy.
The fleet remains the backbone of logistics. Accidents happen, but the mission continues.
For Ortiz, it was a day he'll never forget. The power of gravity is terrifying.
A new vehicle takes its place. The taxpayers foot the bill, but the capability is restored.
Pilots train for hung drops when the load gets stuck on the ramp, dragging the plane down.
A hung drop is the nightmare scenario. It can crash the entire aircraft.
If that happens, the Loadmaster has seconds to cut the straps manually. It's dangerous. A snapping strap can take off a limb. But it saves the plane. The scar on the land heals quickly. The memory of the crash lasts longer.
The financial cost is steep. $250,000, gone in seconds.
But the data gathered helps prevent loss of life in actual combat drops.
There are riskier ways. LFS involves skimming the ground and dragging the load out.
The mission never stops. Night drops add another layer of complexity and danger.
Lights out!
Under NVGs, depth perception is distorted. Rigging checks are even harder. Nature provides the only light. We are guests in the sky, and unwelcome ones at that.
Fatigue is a killer. Crew rest cycles are strictly enforced for a reason.
The manual is written in blood. Every rule exists because someone failed before.
From the Arctic to the desert, we drop supplies everywhere. The physics remain the same.
In the cold, metal becomes brittle. Straps freeze. The challenges multiply.
In the heat, the air is thinner. The chutes provide less lift, the fall is faster.
But today, despite the loss of hardware, the crew walks away. That's a win.
The hold is empty. The beast has delivered its burden.
Sealed up tight. Ready for maintenance and the next rotation.
The unsung heroes. The ground crews who keep these birds flying safely.
Another entry in the logbook. Another story for the archives of Tactical Command.
Success is the norm. Failure is the anomaly. But the anomaly is what we fear. Up here, everything looks peaceful. It belies the violence of the drop. Remember that sound? The sound of a system pushed past its breaking point. And remember the result. Unforgiving, instant destruction.
Thanks for watching Tactical Command USA. For more deep dives into military tech and mishaps, stay tuned to Tactical Command.
Whoops. Even the pros trip up sometimes. Stay safe out there.
This is the G11 cargo parachute. 100 feet of diameter, designed to catch the sky.
A single canopy covers nearly an entire football field. We used 3 for one Humvee.
The material is ripstop nylon, lightweight yet strong enough to withstand thousands of pounds of instant drag.
These suspension lines are the veins of the system. If one snaps, the canopy loses its shape.
Opening shock is the killer. The gear must survive a sudden deceleration force of nearly 4 Gs.
It's violent. The air slams into the fabric, expanding it faster than the eye can see.
To present explosion, we reef the chute. It opens in stages, not all at once.
This tiny cutter is the brain. It severs the restriction line after exactly 2 seconds.
Stage 1 slows it down. Stage 2 brings it home. Timing is absolutely critical here.
If that cutter fails, the chute stays a streamer. It generates drag, but no lift.
When the load exits, the plane jumps up. You feel the release of weight instantly.
As the Humvee rolls back, the plane's center of gravity shifts dangerously to the tail.
The female pilot must push the nose down to fight the tail-heavy stall tendency.
There are riskier ways. LAPS involves skimming the ground and dragging the load out.
We stopped doing that. Too many broken planes. The high drop is safer, usually.
Back in the shed, riggers use wooden paddles to ensure perfect, flat folds.
It takes 4 people and 1 hour to pack a single G11 parachute.
They sign their work. If a chute fails, we know exactly who packed it.
I will be sure, always. A motto that allows no room for good enough.
Meteorology plays a massive role. Wind shear can tangle lines in a split second.
We drop a streamer first, we watch how it falls to judge the invisible currents.
The aircraft itself creates tornadoes off the wingtips. These can collapse a canopy instantly.
This clevis is rated for 80,000 pounds. It is the strongest link in the chain.
But if the cotter pin vibrates out, the bolt slides free and the load falls.
That's why we do the shakeout. We physically rattle every connection to ensure it's locked.
We compress the suspension. We don't want the vehicle bouncing on the pallet during flight.
If it bounces, it creates dynamic load, multiplying the force on the restraints.
This honeycomb is surprisingly strong. It can hold a man, but crushes under a tank.
It's a sacrificial layer. It dies so the Humvee's axle can live.
In our crash, the honeycomb didn't stand a chance. The impact velocity was too high.
"12 seconds. That's how long it took for the load to fall 5,000 feet.
Without chutes, it hit terminal velocity. Physics dictates exactly how fast and how hard.
Mac knows the margin of error is inches. Today, the margin won.
We use cotton ties designed to break. It's controlled destruction to manage the lines.
Using the wrong string, nylon instead of cotton, can cause a malfunction. Materials matter.
Recovery is the next phase. Even scrap metal must be retrieved to prevent intel leaks.
Ortiz drives the cleanup crew. They leave nothing behind on the drop zone.
The data card survived. It lists the weight, balance, and the rigger's ID.
The inquiry is thorough. They analyze the data card to trace the error chain back to the source.
It's never one thing. It's a chain. Fatigue, shadow, material flaw, bad luck.
Check, check, check. The only way to fix the error chain is strict adherence to the checklist.
The chutes hang in the loft like ghosts. They must be aired out to prevent rot. Moisture is the enemy. A damp chute in a bag will rot and fail within weeks. Every tool has a purpose. Tension must be maintained even when the chute is in the bag.
We've been doing this since World War II. The physics haven't changed, only the payloads.
But payloads have gotten heavier. A modern armored Humvee is nearly triple the weight of a Jeep. The future is guided drops. Systems like JPADS steer themselves to the target.
A robot pulls the toggles, flying the cargo like a paraglider.
But accuracy costs money. A guided system costs 10 times as much as a standard G11.
Mac prefers the old school. Electronics can fail,
Gravity and nylon are predictable.
A towed load is a worst-case scenario. The cargo exits, but fails to detach from the aircraft.
If the automatic release fails, Mac has to pull this emergency lever to dump the load.
If a load hangs off the ramp, the center of gravity shifts too far back to fly.
We saw this in Bagram. A load shift caused a 747 to stall and fall out of the sky.
Once the nose pitches past critical angle, the wings stop generating lift. Gravity takes over immediately.
That's why we use Type 4 chains. Each link is proof-tested to hold 10,000 pounds.
But a chain is only as strong as the floor it's hooked to. The aircraft floor itself can tear.
On ascent, the G-forces pull the cargo backward. The restraints are fighting physics every second.
The safety officer watches the locks. They don't touch the cargo. They only audit the process.
This hook knife is the last line of defense. It cuts the static line if a jumper is towed.
Friction can be deadly. A line rubbing against the ramp can melt through in seconds.
We use masking tape to organize the lines. It breaks easily, but keeps things tidy until deployment.
The anchor cable, everything connects here. It stays with the plane while the cargo leaves.
Mac checks for fish hooks, broken wire strands that can snag a parachute line.
At 18,000 feet, without oxygen, the crew has minutes of useful consciousness before blacking out.
Above 10,000 feet, the Loadmasters go on oxygen. You can't inspect rigging if your brain is starving.
The pendant holds the extraction chute. It's the trigger finger of the entire operation.
If it releases early inside the plane, the chute can inflate in the cabin. Total disaster.
This buffer stop protects the pilots. If the load breaks loose on landing, it hits this, not them.
Day 2. Ortiz is back on the DZ. He's hoping for a boring day with no craters.
Load number 4. We are running the mission again to prove the system works.
Mac checks the riser. He checks it twice. Then he asks the safety officer to check it.
The box is checked. The paper trail confirms the hardware is sound.
Crew, prepare for drop. 1 minute.
The red light. It triggers a Pavlovian response. Focus. Adrenaline. Execution.
Mac signals slow down. Rushing leads to mistakes. Smooth is fast. The door to the world opens. The noise returns, drowning out all doubts.
The extraction chute waits. It is the key that unlocks the kinetic energy of the drop.
Green light. The release is immediate. No flutter this time.
A perfect inflation. The extraction chute bites into the air with authority.
The load exits cleanly, stable, symmetrical, just like the textbook says.
The bags strip away. The suspension lines pay out evenly. No twists, no tangles.
Stage 1, reefed. They hold this shape to slow the load gently before full opening.
The cutters fire. The restriction loop is severed.
Full blossom. The deceleration is massive but controlled. The Humvee slows to a crawl.
Mac watches it all the way down. The relief is visible even behind his oxygen mask.
Beautiful. Ortiz confirms. 3 good chutes. The system works when the details are respected.
down! The honeycomb crushes exactly as designed, absorbing the shock. The disconnect fires. The chutes fall away so the wind doesn't drag the truck across the field.
The giants go to sleep. The energy is dissipated. The mission is a success.
Go, go, go! The recovery team moves in. Within minutes, this vehicle will be combat effective.
She starts right up. Delivered from the sky, ready for the fight.
High above, the C-130 banks for home. Another delivery completed.
The success rate is over 98%. But we train for the 1% that fails. It's not just about nylon and steel. It's about the human discipline behind the machine.
Mac is done for the day. He'll sleep well tonight, knowing the cargo arrives safely.
But the tempo never slows. Tomorrow, we do it with a whole brigade. In the dark.
And if you think the C-130 is big, wait until you see the galaxy. That's a story for another time.
If you enjoyed this deep dive into heavy drop physics, hit that like button. Hit like and subscribe for more breakdowns.
Tactical Command USA. We bring you the tech behind the tactics. Stay safe.
Meet LCAD. These are disposable parachutes made of polypropylene. Use once, then burn or bury.
In covert ops, you can't leave expensive gear behind. These chutes are designed to disappear.
For humanitarian aid, we use the triad system. Boxes scatter in mid-air to cover a wide area. The boxes break apart, slowing the fall. It delivers food without needing a landing zone.
High altitude drops happen at 25,000 feet. The plane stays out of missile range.
From this height, a guided chute can glide for 30 miles, landing silently behind enemy lines. The drop is programmed before takeoff. The cargo flies itself to the GPS coordinates.
The Russians use retro rockets to cushion the landing. It's cool, but volatile and expensive.
We stick to cardboard honeycombs. It's low-tech, reliable, and doesn't explode on impact.
The most dangerous cargo isn't ammo, it's fuel. A wet drop is a flying bomb.
If a fuel bladder bursts, the static electricity from the parachutes can ignite the vapor.
When the C-130 isn't enough, we call the C-17. It can drop a 16-ton main battle tank.
Dropping a tank requires a cluster of 8 parachutes. It blocks out the sun.
General Bradley said it best. Amateurs talk strategy. Professionals talk logistics.
Without the heavy drop, the tank has no gas. The rifle has no bullets. The soldier has no food. It's an unglamorous job, but it is the heartbeat of the entire military machine.
Watch this.
The knowledge is passed down. From Mac to Ortiz, the chain remains unbroken. We honor those who pack the chutes. Their hands hold the lives of thousands.
The mission is complete. The package is delivered. We are ready for the next one.
This has been a Tactical Command production. Gravity is optional. Logistics are mandatory.
Click here to see how we airdrop submarines. Yes, we actually do that.
Bonus fact, the C5 Galaxy loads from the front. The nose lifts up, looking like a smiling whale.
What disaster should we analyze next? Tanks? Submarines? Let us know in the comments below.